Even-year-old twins Adeola and Adebayo watched their mother Funmi cry every night after another failed job interview. Desperate to help, they made a dangerous journey across Lagos alone to knock on billionaire Emeka Eze's penthouse door. "Please hire our mom," they begged the richest man in Nigeria. What happened next would change their family's life forever and teach a billionaire the true meaning of wealth. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Adeola and Adebayo were only 7 years old, but they were smarter than most adults. The twins knew their mother, Funmi Adebisi, was struggling to find work in Lagos. Every morning she would put on her best dress, take her certificates and go looking for a job. Every evening she would come home tired and sad. "Mama is crying again," Adeola whispered to her twin brother as they listened through the thin wall of their one-room apartment in Ajigunle. Adebayo nodded sadly. "She thinks we are sleeping, but I can hear her." For 3 months, their mother had been looking for work. She was a trained accountant with a degree from the University of Lagos, but every company said the same thing: "We will call you." But the call never came. The twins knew their mother was running out of money. They had not eaten meat in 2 weeks, and Funmi had started skipping meals so her children could eat. She thought they did not notice, but children see everything. "Adebayo, I have an idea," Adeola said one morning after their mother left for another job interview. "What kind of idea?" "Yesterday when Mama took us to Victoria Island for her interview, I saw that big tall building. The one with the name Eze Holdings on it." Adebayo remembered. "The one that looks like it touches the sky?" "Yes." The security guard told someone that the richest man in Nigeria lives on the top floor. "His name is Mr. Emeka Eze." "So what?" Adeola's eyes were bright with determination. "So, if he is the richest man, he must need someone to count his money. Mama is very good at counting money. We should go and ask him to hire her." Adebayo looked scared. "But we are just children. He will not listen to us." "Adults do not listen to other adults either. Look at Mama, she talks to adults all day and they do not hire her. Maybe he will listen to children because we are different." The next morning, while their mother was at the market buying rice with their last 500 naira, the twins left their apartment. They had never been to Victoria Island alone, but they were determined to help their mother. The journey took 2 hours. They walked, took a free ride in the back of a truck and walked some more. By the time they reached the tall building with Eze Holdings written in big letters, they were tired and hungry. The security guard at the entrance looked down at the 2 small children in worn clothes. "What are you doing here? This is not a place for children to play." "Please sir," Adeola said politely, "we want to see Mr. Emeka Eze." The guard laughed. "Mr. Eze? Do you know who he is? He is the owner of this whole building. He does not see people without appointments." "But sir," Adebayo added, "it is very important. We want him to hire our mother." "Children, go home. Stop wasting my time." But the twins did not give up. They sat on the ground outside the building and waited. Hours passed. The guard told them to leave many times, but they refused to move. "We will wait here until Mr. Eze comes down," Adeola declared. At 6 p.m. the guard shift ended and a new guard came. The twins told him the same story. This guard, Mr. Yakubu, was a father himself and felt sorry for the children. "You have been here all day? Where is your mother?" "She is looking for work," Adebayo explained. "But no one will hire her." "And you think Mr. Eze will hire her if you ask him?" "Yes, sir. If he is very rich, he must be very smart. Smart people know that our mother is good at her work." Mr. Yakubu was moved by their faith in their mother. "What does your mother do?" "She is an accountant. She can count money and make sure no one is stealing." That evening Mr. Yakubu did something he had never done before. He called the number for Mr. Eze's personal assistant. "Hello, this is Yakubu from security downstairs. There are 2 children here who have been waiting all day to see Mr. Eze. They want him to hire their mother." The assistant, Mrs. Chioma, was about to hang up when she heard Mr. Yakubu add, "They are just 7 years old, and they have been here since morning without food or water." Mrs. Chioma was a mother too. 7 years old? And they came alone? "Yes, ma. They are very determined." Mrs. Chioma went to tell Mr. Emeka Eze about the children. She found him in his penthouse office, working late as usual. "Sir, there are 2 children downstairs who want to meet you." Emeka looked up from his computer. At 35 he was one of Nigeria's youngest billionaires, but he had never married and had no children of his own. "Children? What do they want?" "They want you to hire their mother. They have been waiting outside all day." Emeka was intrigued. In his business, people sent expensive gifts, made appointments through connections, and used every trick to get his attention. But two children had simply sat outside his building all day. "Bring them up," he said. Mrs. Chioma was surprised. "Sir? You want to see them?" "Yes. I am curious about children who think they can walk into my office and ask for favors." 10 minutes later, Adeola and Adebayo stood in the most beautiful room they had ever seen. The penthouse had floor-to-ceiling windows showing all of Lagos, expensive furniture and artwork on the walls. Mr. Emeka Ease was tall and well-dressed, but when he looked at the twins, his expression was kind. "So, you are the children who have been waiting for me all day." "Yes, sir," Adeola said, speaking for both of them. "We want you to hire our mother." "And why should I hire your mother? I do not even know her." Adebayo stepped forward. "Because she is the best accountant in Lagos, but no one will give her a chance." Emeka sat down so he could be at eye level with the children. "Tell me about your mother." "Her name is Funmi Adebisi," Adeola explained. "She went to university and she is very smart. She can add numbers faster than a calculator. She makes sure we do our homework every day," Adebayo added. "And she never lies even when lying would be easier. She gives us food even when she is hungry," Adeola continued. "And she works very hard but no one will hire her because—" The little girl stopped talking and looked down. "Because what?" Emeka asked gently. "Because she does not have connections. She does not know important people like you." Emeka felt something stir in his chest. "How do you know I am important?" "Because you have a big building and everyone says you are very rich. Rich people must be important." "And you think important people should help other people?" Both twins nodded seriously. "If God blesses you with money, you should use it to help others," Adeola said, repeating something her mother had taught her. Emeka was quiet for a moment. These children had more wisdom than many of the adults who worked for him. "Where is your mother now?" "She is at home, probably crying because she could not find work today," Adebayo said sadly. "Does she know you came here?" Both children shook their heads. "She will be very worried about you. How did you even get here?" Adeola explained their journey from Ajigunle to Victoria Island. As she talked, Emeka realized these children had traveled across Lagos alone, through some of the most dangerous areas of the city, just to help their mother. "Are you hungry?" he asked. The twins nodded. Emeka called his assistant. "Mrs. Chioma, please order food for our guests. And arrange for my driver to take them home safely." While they waited for the food, Emeka asked more questions about their mother. The twins told him everything: how she studied late into the night by candlelight when they could not afford electricity, how she sold her jewelry to pay for their school fees, how she never complained even when things were difficult. "She sounds like a remarkable woman," Emeka said. "She is," Adeola said proudly. "Will you hire her?" Emeka smiled. "I will meet with her. But I cannot promise anything." "That is all we want," Adebayo said. "A chance for someone to see how good she is." The food arrived and Emeka watched the children eat. They were polite and grateful, saying thank you after every bite. Their mother had raised them well despite their difficult circumstances. When they finished eating, Emeka's driver was ready to take them home. "Before you go," Emeka said, "I want to give you something." He handed each child an envelope. "Do not open these until you get home. And give this one to your mother." He handed Adeola a third envelope. "What is it?" Adeola asked. "Instructions for your mother to come and see me tomorrow." The twins hugged Emeka's legs before leaving. "Thank you, Uncle Emeka," they said together. After they left, Emeka stood at his window looking out at Lagos. In 10 years of business, no one had impressed him as much as those two 7-year-old children. When the twins arrived home, their mother was frantic with worry. She had been searching for them everywhere. "Where have you been?" "I was so scared." Adeola and Adebayo told her everything. At first, Funmi was angry that they had traveled so far alone. But when they gave her the envelope from Mr. Ease, her hands shook as she opened it. Inside was a letter asking her to come for an interview the next morning, along with 50,000 naira for transportation and to buy appropriate interview clothes. "This cannot be real," Funmi whispered. The twins opened their own envelopes. Each contained 20,000 naira and a note that said, "For the bravest children in Lagos. Use this for your education." That night, Funmi held her children close. "What you did was dangerous and you should never travel alone like that again. But I am proud of how much you love our family." The next morning, Funmi went to Ease Holdings wearing a new dress she had bought with Mr. Ease's money. She was nervous but determined to prove that her children's faith in her was justified. Mr. Emeka Ease interviewed her personally. Within 30 minutes, he knew the twins had been right about their mother. Funmi was intelligent, honest, and hardworking. But more than that, she had raised two children who were willing to risk everything to help her. Mrs. Adebizi, Emeka said at the end of the interview, "I would like to offer you a position as senior accountant. The salary is 500,000 naira per month." Funmi could not believe it. That was more money than she had ever imagined earning. "Sir, why are you being so kind to us?" Emeka smiled. "Your children taught me something yesterday. They showed me that the most valuable people are not always the ones with the best connections or the fanciest certificates. Sometimes they are the ones with the biggest hearts." 6 months later, Funmi had proven herself to be one of the best employees Ease Holdings had ever hired. She had discovered several accounting errors that saved the company millions of naira and had implemented new systems that improved efficiency. But more importantly, she had become like family to Emeka. He often invited the twins to visit his office, and they would tell him about school while he worked. Their presence reminded him that success meant nothing if you did not use it to help others. Adeola and Adebayo were now attending one of the best private schools in Lagos, paid for by their mother's new salary. But they never forgot the lesson they had learned that day. Sometimes the biggest problems require the smallest people to solve them. One evening, as Emeka was having dinner with the family in their new apartment in Ikoyi, Adeola asked him a question. "Uncle Emeka, why did you really hire our mother? Was it just because we asked you?" Emeka thought carefully before answering. "I hired your mother because she is excellent at her job. But I met her because you two children showed me something I had forgotten." "What is that?" "That love makes people do extraordinary things. You walked across Lagos, faced security guards, and waited all day just to help your mother. That kind of love is rare and precious." Adebayo smiled. "So you hired Mama because we love her?" "I hired your mother because she raised children who love her that much. Anyone who can inspire that kind of loyalty and sacrifice must be truly special." As Emeka looked at the happy family around his dinner table, he realized that the twins had given him something more valuable than anything his billions could buy. They had given him a family and reminded him that the greatest success in life is not how much money you make, but how many lives you touch. And it had all started with two brave children who knocked on a penthouse door and asked a billionaire to please hire their mom.